Welcome to episode 189 of Your Career Podcast. I'm your host, Jane Jackson, and I'm on a mission to inspire you to take control of your career by providing career guidance, inspiration, and advice so you can create the career of your dreams. I've been providing career coaching to individuals and to large organizations across Australia, the UK, USA, Singapore, and Hong Kong for almost 20 years, and I love making a difference in your life. I provide ongoing support through my Careers Academy membership site and also my private Facebook accountability group. It's a really lively group where if you've got any goals that you want to achieve this year and into the future, why not join me? Because it's called Get Stuff Done Accountability. And so what I do is I help you to get stuff done in your life, all aspects of your life. You'll find the link to request to join at facebook.com/Jane Career Coach. And if you want to go straight to the group and request to join, then it's facebook.com/groups/Get Stuff Done Accountability. And it's really live. I'm in there doing Facebook Lives all the time and also providing lots of career guidance, starting your own business advice, keeping people on track for their weight loss and fitness goals, as well as their career, business, and personal goals too. So join me on Facebook. Now, remember to answer my 4 quick questions when you request to join so I know you're serious about getting stuff done and taking control of your life and your career. And now let's enjoy this episode because so many of my clients have been asking me how to gain career clarity. So I'm going to focus on how to gain career clarity in this episode so that you can create the life and career of your dreams. So welcome to this episode all on how to gain career clarity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you some of the things in this episode that you need to consider when thinking about what should you be doing in your career, whether you're starting out in your career or you're getting a bit fed up with what you're doing, or you're feeling just that little niggly feeling of dissatisfaction. Career clarity is what you need. And you know what? It's a funny thing. Ever since January this year, I've had so many people book in for career clarity chats because they just don't know what they want to do next. Some of them have gone through a redundancy or have a redundancy looming, so they're starting to feel a little bit anxious. But others who actually are still in a role, but they're just thinking, I don't feel really satisfied. Have you ever felt like that? I wonder why it is that you are feeling this dissatisfaction. So what I do is when I start coaching people, I go through a series of exercises to help them to gain career clarity. And I always start off with a life inventory because your career is important. Of course it is, but you can't look at your career just on its own in a little silo. You have to look at your life in its entirety, holistically. And your life plays a big part in how well you do in your career. And so with my life inventory, what I get you to do is to go through where you're at in your career right now with regard to your finances, because so much stuff could be going on. Maybe you've got a mortgage or you've got kids in private school or you're trying to help out other family members and finances might be tight. But you've got to know exactly where you're at this point in time. You need to also consider how are your relationships, because if you've got some not so happy relationships, that could be dragging you down, and that filters through into your career as well. So consider your relationships and if there's something you need to do about them. Also, your physical environment. Where do you live? Is it conducive to being healthy and happy? Is it a place where you can relax at the end of the day if you've had a really stressful day at work? Because your physical environment, your home, and also your office environment could affect the 5th thing that you need to consider when taking a life inventory, and that is your health. Have you gone to the doctor for your regular checkups? Have you had an eye check? Have you been to the dentist? Do you work out every day? Do you exercise? Are you overweight? Are you underweight? You've got to consider your career, your finances, your relationships, your physical environment, and your health. And is there anything that you need to take care of in that regard? In my life inventory exercise, I actually take you through everything, and it takes you through a 100-point checklist so that you can take action on anything that is not currently taken care of. Now, the next thing that you need to consider when gaining career clarity is, what is it, honestly, that's holding you back? What are you tolerating in your life that's draining your energy? Because in our lives, we've learned to tolerate a lot. We put up with, accept, take on, and are dragged down by people's behavior or situations or our unmet needs. Maybe boundaries have been crossed. Maybe you've crossed a boundary and you feel bad about it and it's playing on your mind. Maybe there's some unfinished business or any sort of frustrations or problems or even your own behavior that you are tolerating. You have to think about it. Is there anything that you wish you were better at, or maybe you had under control? Because now I'll give you an example here. You know how, say if you're walking down a corridor and the lighting is good, you just walk down the corridor, don't you? And you get to where you want to go. But if, say, there's a fluorescent light and it's about to blow and it's flickering. Now, we've all been in a room where there's been a flickering light and it's still working, but it's flickering, and doesn't it annoy you? And every time, if you're walking down that corridor and the light is flickering, you notice it and you go, oh, that light is flickering. It's so annoying. And it's a small thing, but it detracts you from your focus and it creates a little bit of irritation. And that means it drains some of your energy. Now, if you just stopped, got a new fluorescent light, changed it so the light was good again, you wouldn't be distracted every single time you walk down that corridor. And that's the same as the things that you're tolerating in your life. So we are tolerating more than we realize. Take a couple of minutes to write that stuff down. Anything that you sense that you're tolerating, write it down, add it to your list. And do you need to do anything about it? Well, no, not really. But if it is annoying enough and you actually take action, and it could be something like a pile of laundry in your bedroom that needs ironing, and you look at it and the piles are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you just think, oh, it's really annoying me. And also it's bad feng shui too, or feng shui, as Westerners would like to say, because if you have a messy corner or a messy anything, it's really not good for the energy flowing around the room. But if you just gave yourself an hour, got all the clothes out and you ironed it and hung it up, you'd feel so good. It's that sense of accomplishment. Okay, so if you're aware and you can articulate your tolerations, they'll bring them to the forefront in your mind, and very naturally you'll start to handle them or eliminate them, fix them, grow through them, and resolve those tolerations. And that's going to make you feel so much lighter. And so those are the things that are important to initially think about in your life before you even start to think about your career goals and your career values, etc. Now, when it comes to your career, the things that you must assess, because if you don't assess them, you won't know what they are. And if you don't know what you really like and what drives you, how can you have career clarity and make the right decisions? That's a thought, isn't it? I'd really love to hear what you think. So if at any time you have a question, just ask it of me in my Facebook accountability group. Remember, it's facebook.com/groups/get stuff done accountability, and you will find me. If you think that's too hard to remember, just go to facebook.com/Jane Career Coach, and you'll find it anyway via my business page. Has there ever been a time in your life when you have thought, okay, life's okay, family's okay, partner's okay, money's okay, job's okay, colleagues are okay, but still I'm not 100% happy, there's something missing? Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever wondered why you feel dissatisfied when you should be perfectly happy? Well, let me tell you, it's probably because one or more of your top values, career or personal values, are not being met at this point in time. And if you don't know what those values are, how will you know how to have them met? And the thing is that values, there are so many, people always talk about work-life balance as a value, family life as a value, etc. But there are so many more. Here, I'll just read out a few for you. Accountability is a value, where you're surrounded by team members who are responsible for completing tasks and meeting deadlines. How important is that to you? Extremely important, sometimes, or never. Okay, or maybe challenge, having ideas, belief, results, opinions, and status quo where you can question them and lead to continual development. How important is that? Some people, for pure challenge, is a value. Maybe you value cooperation, where everyone works together to achieve organizational goals and overcome barriers. Is that a top value for you? Maybe creativity is a value. Or maybe there are so many values that you can choose from. Maybe equality is a value, or hospitality, or honesty, or innovation, okay, or diplomacy. Now, all of these are values. I actually have, when I work through with my clients, I have over 40 different values, and they can always add more themselves too, that we work through to find out which are their top values and ranking them in order of importance. Because if you do not fulfill your top values, how can you possibly be happy? If you are surrounded by people who don't match your values and share the values that you hold so dear, how can you be fully satisfied? Okay, because you'll go into work and there will be a disconnect, yes? Okay, another thing that you need to consider in order to get career clarity is your work satisfiers. What is essential for your satisfaction, nice to have, or you're not really too fussed about it? Because work satisfiers are very, very important. When you go for a job interview, if you don't know what satisfies you, how can you ask the right questions to be sure that you are marketing yourself into the type of role that you will love and that you'll thrive in? There are so many things that you need to consider. I'll just read out a few for you here. Maybe control over your work hours is a satisfier for you. Maybe working full-time is a satisfier for you. Maybe managing people or managing finances, or working in a large organization, or working in a startup environment, or maybe having task variety is a satisfier. Maybe you love corporate dress standards. Maybe you like casual dress standards. Maybe you love international travel. Or perhaps you like being able to drive everywhere, national travel. Maybe you prefer to have routine, defined tasks and you don't want a lot of change. Maybe you like working on your own. Some of these things are satisfiers. Some will be dissatisfiers for other people. But you need to know what satisfies you and what dissatisfies you so that you can identify the questions to ask in an interview so that you market yourself into a highly satisfying environment. This all makes sense, doesn't it? I hope I'm not giving you too much information, but these are things that we all need to consider. And whenever I'm coaching my clients, this is what I work through with them. I get the results of their career clarity exercises, and then I coach them through each aspect where they're stuck. And so often we get to these aha moments, and that's the joy of being a career coach, is to be able to create aha moments for my clients. Now, let's go on to another assessment that you need to do as well, because what about your preferred skills? Now, everyone has got skills. We all have skills. They're all different skills, of course. Some of us share similar skills, but we've all got skills, and whatever we're very good at, we think it's an easy sell, but you need to also consider not only what you're good at, but how much you enjoy using that skill. Because if you are very good at something, but you don't like it, then you're going to be headed for burnout. So, things like active learning or instructing or teaching or making decisions or managing financial resources, these are skills, but are they your preferred skills? Do you like operations analysis? Do you like programming? or selling? Do you like nurturing? I mean, these are all skills that some people have and some people don't. But if you are very good at it, you need to highlight also what you're good at and what you love, because high competence plus high enjoyment level means an easy sell. That is your sweet spot. That is where your passion lies. It makes sense, doesn't it? And I love coaching people through this, because as soon as they realize, hey, that's me, that's what I really, really love, and they start to smile and they feel more confident, because with clarity about yourself comes confidence. And finally, what I like to work on with my clients too is their mission statement. What are the words that describe them? What makes them truly happy? And what sort of environment are they at their best? And what sort of environment are they at their worst? Okay, because there are some environments that just bring out the worst in us. Wouldn't you agree? Certainly there are some environments that bring out the worst in me. And so I try to avoid them. And I also want you to think about, what are the 5 top qualities that you admire in other people? Maybe in your leaders that you've had in the past, or maybe a famous person, or your parents or family members. What are the qualities that you admire and would like to emulate? And then consider what your greatest skills are currently. Yeah. And if you were at your absolute best, what would you be doing? How would you be feeling? Just imagine, close your eyes and think, oh gosh, if I was doing this every day, how good would I feel? Plus, if you're paid well for it, even better, don't you think? And consider, what do you want people to say when you are not in the room? What sort of legacy do you want to leave? It's so important, because we're put on this earth for a reason. And I believe that we are put on this earth to leave our legacy. And if we understand who we are and what we truly have to offer, then we can make a difference in the world, and we can make a difference to the lives of everyone that we touch too. But we can't do it unless we have clarity about who we are, what we represent, what drives us, our ethics and our integrity. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today with regard to career clarity. If you want to know more, then obviously connect with me on LinkedIn, and let me know you've listened to this podcast episode. In fact, if you like this podcast episode, do leave a review on iTunes, because it means I can reach more people as well. And if you would like to download my Career Clarity Pack, I have a special offer for you at the moment, where you can get it for half price for a limited time. But if you go to janejacksoncoach.com/Career Clarity Pack, you will see that I have a special coupon code so that you can get it for over half price. And honestly, for a very small price, you can get all of my exercises and you will gain career clarity. How much is career clarity worth to you after all? So I'll have all of my links that I've mentioned today in the show notes. And you can find the show notes at janejacksoncoach.com/podcast. Too easy. And I hope that this has given you a little bit of additional clarity. And if you've got a question, hop over to my Facebook group. Okay, I've mentioned it before. Just go to facebook.com/groups/Get Stuff Done Accountability. Answer those quick questions. And I can't wait to see you in my private Facebook group, because I'm there almost every day providing inspiration and advice. You can ask questions. And once a month, I do a free group coaching call for accountability. You identify your goals. I'll help to keep you on track to achieve them. And so remember, if you enjoyed this episode of Your Career Podcast, please go to iTunes and leave a review, okay? And for comprehensive career management support to create the career of your dreams, join the Careers Academy at thecareersacademy.online. I provide a heap of value, one-on-one coaching support, plus group coaching calls as part of membership, and that's all for less than the price of a cup of coffee a day. Crazy, isn't it? Anyway, see you in my next episode, and remember, always believe in yourself and create magic. See ya.